You guys are live and we are live.
The book of our title, or the title of our book is What Lied Beneath the Surface.
Our theory is that Jesus and his unknown sisters came up with a plan before he died to keep the story alive while protecting the disciples' reputation. This plan was to have the sisters sneak into the tomb after Jesus' crucifixion, bury his body underneath or in the ground in the tomb to give the illusion that he rose, though he was really still in the tomb. On the way out, they folded the linen in the morning, and when the women came to look in the tomb, it looked like he rose.
Okay. So Jesus' sisters involved in the conspiracy. All right. Okay, excellent. Step a little bit closer.
How do you explain Jesus' appearance to the disciples?
The disciples were distraught and filled with grief, which caused the vivid vision of Jesus wanting reassurance they believed.
So they were under grief and they had a distraught vision.
Yes.
All of them at the same time?
Yeah, basically.
Jackson.
Alright, so how do you explain Jesus appearing to the 500?
Well, at this time, emotions were high, so people could have possibly seen someone that looked like Jesus and put two and two together and just assumed. And you know how rumors get started, like people just believe what they want to believe, and it could have just spread.
So all 500 of them saw him at the same time?
I mean, yeah, one person could have said, hey, that dude looks like Jesus. The other one could have been like, yeah, he does, and just spread it around.
No. 30 seconds.
Can I ask a clarification question?
You can.
How y'all explain the conversion of Paul?
No, that's not a clarification question. That's not
Sorry, I
a
go up.
Yes. Clarification question, y'all, is like, I'm not sure I understand what you mean by, that's what we mean. Okay. You're not clarifying where you're going?
No, I'm gonna go.
Okay.
How do you explain the conversion of Paul?
So while he was walking the roads in Damascus, Paul had a psychological crisis, struggling with the guilt from persecuting Christians. He had an emotional and mental experience that he believed was a vision from God. Needing an escape, he turned to Christianity.
So like, why would he turn to Christianity just because of like a vision that he like thinks he saw?
Say the question again.
Why do you think he would just turn to Christianity just because of the vision he saw after he was like so dead set on like killing them?
If you had an experience and it felt really real, wouldn't you believe that and want to do whatever you believe? I mean, like in his head, God told him like, hey, like you need to turn to Christianity, and I mean, it felt pretty real to him that he was like, okay, yeah.
So like the people around him like didn't like saying, they were just like, okay, I guess you just had vision and you're all right, you're a Christian.
I'm not here. Someone else? All right.
Okay, so for the appearance of the 500, you said it was just some guy that looked like Jesus. Why wouldn't he like say like, "Hey, I'm not Jesus"? Like, why would he not
Why would the guy like act as Jesus? Because people like would recognize that he's
Well, they
Jesus.
never
Okay, actually,
confronted
Jesus.
him, so
Do what?
they never confronted the guy that looked like Jesus, so they just said,
Why would the guy that looked like Jesus not be like, hey guys, I'm not Jesus?
Well, if they're talking amongst themselves, you know, they could have just been like, hey, he did look like them and just not go up to him. It's very possible that that happened, that they just assumed and never went up to him to confirm.
Jackson.
Okay, so y'all said that with Paul, y'all said that he had like kind of like this delusional thing from grief, right? So how do y'all explain him being blind for 3 days from being like delusional from grief?
When you cry, it's hard to see sometimes.
Wait, say that again?
When you cry, it's hard to see sometimes.
I love that answer.
That's so real.
That came from the heart.
Okay, somebody else? 30 seconds?
Very good.
Okay, so like if the tomb was like stone, like they made their things out of stone, like how did they bury him? Like in stone?
they never said how many unnamed sisters there were, so they a group effort.
But like wouldn't like the Romans like notice like, hey, this was like all solid stone and now it's all just like gravel? Like you don't think they would check that out or anything?
Well, okay, so the tomb is made out of like mountains, I guess, on the side. They're not gonna carve a hole in somewhere that's a little bit off ground, so it's gotta be like, I don't know, say this is the tomb, the side of the tomb, here's the ground right here. I mean, they're gonna get it open like, and then, I mean, it's ground inside the tomb, like it's like dirt and stuff, so I mean.
No, it's like no, it's stone.
How do you know that?
Yeah.
I did my research.
I did too.
Yeah.
We are tied.
Oh.
Seconds.
Yeah.
15 seconds.
So they're saying that they
So my question
Wait,
is
hang on.
that
Okay, now.
so it was more. This is more like clarification. Was this like it was only his sisters and wasn't any of his brothers at all?
That's just,
Okay, so you good? You understand? Just the sisters involved.
Yeah.
So he's not gonna put points. Are the sisters involved, not the brothers? Todd or Jackson? Either one of y'all. Go ahead. Either one of you.
Alright, so y'all said with the disciples that they like envisioned him from like grief, they thought he was there, right? So how do you explain Thomas like sticking his hand in his wounds and like sticking his hand in his side?
Dream.
A dream? Bro, how was it a dream? He said he stuck his hand in his side and the disciples were there and they witnessed him doing it. So how would it be a dream?
hallucination.
How could it be a hallucination? He reached inside Jesus and felt his insides. Like,
What?
Yeah, we do.
Game point. Group. All right, Liam.
My question,
Wait, come a little forward.
my question is, how did the Roman guards let the sisters take Jesus' body to the tomb? Huh? So they just like stopped. Once they killed Jesus, they just left him there, and there's an earthquake, so they came later and picked him up.
Say that again? Who's picking them up?
The sisters, how did the Roman guards let the sisters take the body?
Earthquake.
Oh, wait,
How did
no, you're saying like after the crucifixion?
Yes, how did the
Okay,
sisters?
so they brought him in the tomb, right? They closed it and everything at night. They all snuck.
So
in.
what do you have to say about the Roman guards guarding the tomb?
Earthquake.
You can't just say there's an earthquake for everything.
Because there was an earthquake and they just fell and hurt themselves and they eventually. They hit
So
their
what
heads on
happened
the
to the
rock and
Roman
died.
guards?
That's it.
There's no way you. I literally.
Pull that out.
Come back.